Number 1. As I stood on the platform, waiting for my train, an unsettling feeling washed over me. It was as if an invisible presence lingered in the air, casting a shadow of unease upon the platform. There was something undeniably eerie about this particular spot, and the stories I had heard only fueled my curiosity. The platform seemed ordinary enough, with its cold, hard concrete and flickering overhead lights. But there was an unmistakable chill that permeated the air, even on the warmest of days. It was the kind of bone-deep cold that seeped into your very core, leaving you shivering and uneasy. As I glanced around, I noticed I was not alone. Other passengers stood scattered along the platform, their expressions a mixture of apprehension and curiosity. We were all drawn to this haunted place, united by a shared fascination with the unknown. It was said that this platform was plagued by unexplained occurrences. People spoke of sudden drops in temperature, even on sweltering summer days. They whispered of ghostly figures that appeared and vanished into thin air, leaving witnesses questioning their own sanity. Some claimed to have heard disembodied voices, whispering unintelligible words into the silent night. As the minutes ticked by, the feeling of dread intensified. I couldn't help but notice a shadowy figure out of the corner of my eye, a spectral silhouette that seemed to flit between the gaps of the waiting passengers. Its presence was both unnerving and captivating, a reminder of the unseen forces at play. Suddenly, a gust of wind swept through the platform, rustling the leaves and causing an eerie silence to descend upon us. The hairs on the back of my neck stood on end, as if the very atmosphere held its breath in anticipation. And then, it happened. A faint whisper echoed through the air, barely audible but unmistakably present. I strained to listen, my heart pounding in my chest. The words were indistinct, but their haunting tone sent a shiver down my spine. It was as if the spirits of the past were reaching out, their voices carried on an ethereal breeze. A sense of unease settled upon us, the collective energy of the passengers palpable. We exchanged nervous glances, each of us silently acknowledging the presence that lingered on this haunted platform. It was an unspoken understanding, a shared belief that something supernatural inhabited this space. As my train finally arrived, relief washed over me. I hurriedly boarded, eager to escape the unsettling atmosphere of the platform. But even as the train pulled away, I couldn't shake the feeling that the haunted presence would remain, haunting the dreams and thoughts of those who had experienced its chilling touch. The haunted platform would continue to instill a sense of dread in those who passed through, a reminder of the mysterious and inexplicable forces that exist beyond our understanding. The stories would persist, whispered in hushed tones, ensuring that the tales of this haunted place would live on, haunting the minds of those who dared to listen. Number 2. As I stood near the railway tracks, I couldn't help but feel a sense of unease. The air around me was heavy with an inexplicable energy, as if the very ground beneath my feet held the secrets of countless tragedies. This stretch of tracks had gained a notorious reputation, whispered about in hushed tones by the locals, a place cursed by an unseen force. Legend had it that a series of tragic accidents had befallen trains passing through this cursed section. The stories were chilling, filled with tales of derailments, mysterious malfunctions, and lives tragically cut short. The locals spoke of ghostly figures that appeared at night, their spectral forms wandering along the tracks, forever trapped in a realm between the living and the dead. As night fell, the atmosphere grew even more eerie. The darkness seemed to stretch and warp, obscuring the tracks in an otherworldly shroud. I had heard accounts of phantom trains roaring through the night, their spectral presence sending shivers down the spines of those who were unfortunate enough to witness them. The sound of screeching brakes and ghostly whistles echoed in my mind, a haunting reminder of the tragedies that had occurred in this cursed place. The locals firmly believed that malevolent forces were at play. They spoke of a vengeful spirit that lingered on these tracks, seeking retribution for past wrongs. It was said that this restless soul would manifest as an ominous figure, clad in tattered clothing and emitting an otherworldly aura. Witnesses described the feeling of being watched, as if unseen eyes bore into their very soul, filling them with a deep sense of dread. But it wasn't just the apparitions that plagued this cursed stretch of tracks. Reports of unexplained train malfunctions were common, with engines mysteriously shutting down or losing control, as if manipulated by an invisible hand. The machinery seemed to rebel against the laws of physics, defying logic and leaving experts baffled. As I walked along the tracks, a chill wind whispered through the surrounding trees. It was as if the very air carried the mournful cries of those who had perished here, their restless spirits forever trapped in this spectral realm. Goosebumps prickled my skin, and I couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. Suddenly, a distant rumble reverberated through the ground, growing louder with each passing second. Panic surged within me as I realized a train was approaching. Fear gripped my heart, for I knew the legends all too well. As the train drew nearer, I braced myself for the unknown, wondering if I would bear witness to the cursed track's malevolent power. And then, as if by some macabre twist of fate, the train screeched to a halt just before reaching me. The passengers stared out in terror, their faces pale and eyes wide with disbelief. The train sat motionless, trapped in an inexplicable suspension, its machinery defying all logic. It was as if the curse had struck again, demonstrating its unfathomable power. As the authorities investigated the incident, the legends surrounding the cursed tracks only grew stronger. The tales of ghostly figures and unexplained train malfunctions continued to be passed down through generations, ensuring that the chilling lore of this haunted place would never be forgotten. Number 3. As I stepped onto the train, the rhythmic chugging of the engine filled the air, creating a sense of anticipation and excitement. Little did I know that this would be a journey I would never forget, a journey that would bring me face to face with the supernatural. The train car was filled with the murmurs of passengers, each lost in their own world. I found an empty seat near the middle and settled in, eager to reach my destination. The train began to pick up speed, hurtling through the night, its wheels screeching against the tracks. It was then that I first noticed him, a figure standing at the end of the car. Dressed in an old-fashioned conductor's uniform, his presence was both captivating and unnerving. His eyes seemed to pierce through the crowd, scanning each passenger with an intensity that sent shivers down my spine. I watched in disbelief as the conductor made his way down the aisle, checking each ticket with meticulous attention. His movements were graceful, yet there was an ethereal quality to his presence, as if he existed in a realm that intersected with our own for a fleeting moment. Whispers spread through the car as others also caught sight of the spectral conductor. Some gasped in shock, while others simply sat frozen, their eyes locked on this mysterious figure. It was as if time had momentarily stopped, and we were transported into a world where the boundary between the living and the dead blurred. As the conductor approached, I instinctively reached into my pocket for my ticket. Trembling, I handed it to him, my gaze fixated on his ghostly form. He glanced at the ticket with a faint smile before his image began to fade, like mist dissipating in the morning sun. The conductor vanished before my eyes, leaving me in a state of disbelief. The other passengers exchanged bewildered glances, their expressions mirroring my own astonishment. We had all witnessed something inexplicable, a glimpse into a realm beyond our understanding. The stories we had heard, the tales of the ghostly conductor, had become a haunting reality. Word spread among the passengers, and soon the tale of the spectral conductor became a part of the train's lore. Other travelers came forward with their own encounters, describing the same apparition, the same surreal experience of being checked by a phantom conductor. The sightings continued on subsequent journeys, captivating the minds of those who dared to ride these trains. Passengers shared their stories, recounting the chilling encounters with the ghostly figure who defied explanation. The legend of the ghostly conductor grew, becoming a part of the train's mystique. To this day, I ponder the nature of that encounter. Was the spectral conductor a remnant of the past, forever bound to the train and its passengers? Or was he a messenger from another realm, offering us a glimpse into the mysteries of the afterlife? One thing is certain, the memory of that haunting encounter will forever be etched in my mind. The ghostly conductor serves as a reminder that there are forces at play in this world that defy our understanding, leaving us in awe of the supernatural and the inexplicable.